Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Weimiller, and I am coming at you with your September 2022 insights, kind of what to expect, what you'll potentially see for each zodiac sign. I'm also going to give you the really quick, not really quick, but we all know I don't do really quick, but quick high level of what's going on in September. Again, with any of this stuff, especially the sign predictions, it is high level. I don't know your charts. That's why you can click below to book a consultation, easy for me to say, where you can, we can really dig into your chart and really look at what's going on in your chart. So again, broad high level descriptions, read them off of your moon or your ascendant, or both. It'll give you a little flavor of kind of what you can expect, because the moon's our mind, as I mentioned, I know many videos before, but if you're new to watching these videos, the moon is your mind and the ascendant is, really who we are, and stays with us throughout life. But first and foremost, broad overview of what is going on the month of September. So I don't know about you, but I can't believe that it is already September, that we're already here. We've got, after this, we've only got 3 months left in the year, and then we will be in 2023. But, let's focus on September for now. Let's focus on living in the past, not in the past, living in the present, the other P word. So, September is really interesting because we've got multiple planets retrograde. So Jupiter's retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Uranus is retrograde, Pluto's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, and just to add to it, Mercury goes retrograde on September 9th. So it's going to be Mercury's going to go retrograde September 9th. It's going to be retrograde until October 2nd. As with any Mercury retrograde, this one's actually going to be in its own sign of Virgo. And I do use sidereal system. I use Vedic astrology, but sidereal can be used in Eastern or Western. So I use the sidereal system of astrology. But it's in Virgo. It's going to really, because Virgo is Mercury's strongest sign. Let me slow down, because Mercury's already in Virgo, so we can see how it's impacting me wanting to talk really fast. But it can be a really positive thing, but it can also magnify things as well, because it is in its own sign and it is so strong. So when Mercury goes retrograde, it's really going to be a time that you need to ensure communication is clear and understood by all parties. So check for understanding, check to make sure people know what was said, that you're in agreement, that you understood it the same way. It's okay to ask for clarification. There could be potential for travel delays. Those always kind of increase with Mercury retrograde, and really not the time to buy electronics. However, some astrologers say because the electronic was made pre-Mercury retrograde, you might be okay. I've seen it go both ways, so that one, go with your gut. Let's put it that way. Or sometimes you have no choice. So just to understand that. Retrogrades, as I mentioned, we've got so many retrogrades right now. September is really going to be a month that's asking you to kind of rest, reset, reevaluate, kind of re-examine all these words. It's bringing stuff up. It's asking you to slow down. It's asking you to take a look at those areas of your life and see, do you need to make changes? Do you not need to make changes? Do you need to approach things differently? So just remember all the readjust, as I mentioned, re-examine, reset, rest. I know that's not really, it starts with RE. So just keep that in mind. Give yourself grace. I've talked to a lot of people that just, the last few months have been hard, and no one knows what everyone's going through. A lot of people keep happy faces on even when they're going through hard stuff. So just give people grace, try to see things from their perspective. Just don't be aggressive. Don't send nasty emails. Just have conversations, keep clear, open lines of communication. I know Mercury retrograde is going to make that a little harder, but it's not impossible. You can still do it. So just keep all of that in mind. It's kind of my friendly reminder for you this month. I kind of want to talk about that massive conjunction on August 1st for a couple minutes. It definitely packed a punch. We saw it deliver leading up to the conjunction. We saw it, things just happen. It was extreme weather around the world. There was fire, there was riots. And really, now that Mars is away from that, it takes away a little bit of the firepower, no pun intended, because Mars is the planet of fire. But we still have Rahu and Uranus in close conjunction. And in the US, I know we've had, that can still be extreme weather. So we've had flooding in Kentucky, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Dallas. I think Colorado had some. Alaska has already had some snow this season, in August. What month is it? In August. So just these two are going to be conjunct for a while. They're going to be in that same sign of Aries for a long time. So we could still see more riots. We can still see more extreme weather. We could still see volcanic eruptions, earthquakes. There's just a lot going on. So just keep it in mind as Rahu and Uranus begin to separate. It may lessen a little bit, but there's still a chance for it. So keep that in mind. Keep it in the back of your head and share it with your friends. Excuse me. But, there's really the other main thing going on right now, as I mentioned. So Mercury retrograde, I'll give you the dates again because it doesn't hurt to repeat them. September 9th to October 2nd. Just watch your communication. Reread emails. If you're trying to send one in anger or frustration, pause, think about it. Maybe wait till the next day to send it when you're not quite as angry, because there's more potential to blow up situations with lack of communication. Mars entered Taurus on August 10th, this past month, and it's going to be in Taurus until October 15th. So on October 15th, it is going to move into Gemini for about a month before retrograding back into Taurus for a long stay. Mars is going retrograde October 31st. This is your heads up. I'm giving it to you a month in advance, more than a month in advance, because it's October 31st. So Mars goes retrograde this month. It will spend about 7 months in Taurus this year. Whatever house that rules for you is going to be the one where you're going to need to watch what goes on. You're going to need to make sure you're not stirring up. Mars can be a little more feisty. It has its really good side. It can be more passionate. But that house is going to get the passion. It's going to get the feistiness. It can get the aggression. So just know this is coming, because you're already getting a taste of what Mars and Taurus is going to be like, because it's already there and will be until October 15th. So just pay attention from August 10th to October 15th. And that'll give you a sense of when it's in Taurus once it retrogrades back in there. So Mars and Taurus can bring a lot of passion, and this can go, as I kind of mentioned, it can go both ways. So kind of keep that eye on it. It doesn't go extreme. Anything extremes, it's just extremes are not the best. So try to keep things from going to the extreme. It's going to be, really a time that to keep an eye on your spending, really check so it doesn't get out of control, keep a budget, stick to your budget. I understand, expenses come up, whether it's with your pet or your car or your home. Put into your budget an emergency kind of potential, if possible, so that you have that. And then if you don't use it, you can just kind of keep building that emergency fund so that when you have an emergency, you don't have to worry about it because you've got the funds there. It's not this stressful situation. Venus entered Leo on August 31st. Apparently I'm ready for fall in the US, guys. It has been a scorcher of a summer where I live. But August 31st, Venus entered Leo. And it's going to be there until September 24th. And this can be a time of strong feelings and enjoyment, of luxury and the finer things in life. It does have the potential to make people more persuasive. So just kind of really listen, slow down, listen to hear. Don't listen to respond. Listening to hear is going to be your best friend, actually. Just in general, even, honestly, as humans, it's your best friend. Venus is then going to enter Virgo on September 24th, and this is its weakest transit. So the good news is it is going to be transiting in Virgo with an exalted Mercury. So what that says is Mercury is going to kind of offset the fact that Venus is weak. But Venus and Virgo can be, it can make people overly critical in love. It can make people jump in too quickly to love. So just know, like during this period when Venus is in Virgo, September 24th, starting September 24th, that, you just take things slow. Don't rush things. If something your partner is doing is driving you nuts, don't pick on them or ask nicely. Just trying to really watch that about yourself during that period, because everybody will get that lovely feeling, and it'll be worse if Virgo is your seventh house. So just know the house will depend, but in general, Venus is the planet of love, and Virgo, they can be overly critical when Venus is there of love. So keep an eye on it. Really, for the sun, we don't usually talk about the sun. It spends about a month in each sign, but the sun is transiting in Virgo, starting September 16th until October 17th. And during the sun transits of Virgo, people can feel like they need to work harder. There can be a sense of service in the air as well, so that need to help, but people need to be careful that they don't set their expectations too high. So really do reality checks, keep yourself in check. And again, the sun's in Virgo September 16th until October 17th. So just keep that in mind. And with that being said, September, really, again, rest, reset, readjust, reevaluate, re-examine. Just really take the time to look back and figure things out. And, if the plan hasn't been going as planned, reset, readjust, that's okay. Life does not always go as planned, let me tell you. There are times where life will throw everything at you and see what you're made of. And you're going to make it out the other side. You will, I promise. But you gotta go with it. You gotta go with the flow. You gotta re-examine. You gotta be honest with yourself. So be honest with yourself. Enjoy September. Let's look at the signs. So again, for the signs, you can look at either your moon sign or your rising sign, or both. Again, both would be probably my recommendation, but I also know some people just want to look at, you feel free to look at your sun too. It's just really going to give flavor if you look at more than one. But if you're only going to look at one, either the moon or rising sign would be the two I would focus on. Aries, this is going to be a month that you need to ensure that you are staying present and paying attention to the thoughts running through your head, that you can, so that you can verbalize them to others. You can come across as more aggressive in your tone and approach to conversations. So it's going to be really important that you identify your audience to ensure you don't put your foot in your mouth. Relationship-wise, you may find yourself in a new relationship if you've been single, or if you're in a relationship, you may kind of find that need to kind of spice things up again, like make them interesting, give a little more, go on dates again. Don't just sit in Netflix and chill, but go out, do something fun, go, bowling or top golfing, or pick something fun. Don't be shy, don't delay. Your partner's probably feeling it too. For you, Aries, it's going to be important to pay attention to the food you're putting in your mouth. You may get lazy and order in, or you may eat out more than you should. So just make time to cook healthy meals and make enough that you have leftovers so that they're easier to kind of grab. So as cliche as it sounds, meal prep, and try to use that to help you so that when you finish at the end of a long day of work, you're not like, I'm too tired to cook. Well, let's just go grab something. Taurus, you're going to find yourself moving more quickly this month, but also there's going to be that greater sense of motivation and ambition. Really harness this time to accomplish the goals you have on your list, and even take the time to reassess and get some new goals if the current ones really aren't resonating with you. So again, this goes with the RE words I'm talking about. Reassess them, reset them, readjust them. Just go with the flow. If they're not working, they're not working. They don't resonate with you, change them. With the ability to move more quickly this month comes the higher need to be cautious, as you can be much more accident prone, especially as it relates to your head and potential for bruises or burns. So wear shoes, don't run into door frames, be very cautious while driving. Just don't cautious while walking or running, anything. Just keep an eye, stay in the present. It's going to be really important for you, Taurus, to keep your temper in check. So go into this month knowing that you're going to need to put your patience pants on. So go ahead and put them on now. And you're going to find opportunities coming your way that may, you may find that it leads to a raise or a promotion in your future. Gemini, this is the month. Get that budget out and check in on how well you are sticking to the guidelines you set. So have you gone a little crazy and splurged on things that weren't necessary? If yes, that's okay, but really take the time, get back on track, kind of try to make up for that if you can, because you're going to you need to stick to that budget. So you can find yourself more easily frustrated this month. So it will be good to give yourself time to reset and get your emotions back to, like, I like to say, a clear glass, so that you don't take your anger out on others or respond in a way that you later regret. And what I mean by clear glass is I do teach emotional intelligence as well. And we always say, like, you've got the clear glass, and then an event gets added to it and gets a little more cloudy, and then another event. So take the time, let that glass get back to clear for your emotions. You really should put yourself out there at work, as the planets are going to be working in your favor to help you get noticed, which can, if you desire, help you get that promotion or increased responsibility you've been looking for. Take time out of the busyness to just have some fun, whether it be going out to eat, a concert, going to a movie, going to the theater, as long as it's in your budget. Remember, we're sticking to the budget. Or find, like, even a fun game night with friends that, can save you money, or hiking. Find free things. There's free activities to do in every city, every country. And sometimes that's what you have to do, and that's okay. Cancer, really be sure to keep your eyes and ears open to those around you and those talking with you, as they may present opportunities that can help you really move to that next level. Even if the ideas sound out of touch with reality, take the time to consider them, as they may just be just what you need, or they may trigger kind of that, trigger another idea in your mind that's even better. So really, for you, you are in a lucky period where things may seem to go your way and you just don't know why. Enjoy it, trust in the universe, go with the flow. But also be sure that you're still showing up and taking action, so the universe doesn't think you're taking advantage of it, because the universe does not appreciate that. So make sure you're maintaining a high moral code, and that you don't change your views just to fit in. It is a time when your mind can be a powerful tool of manifestation. So be sure you kind of take that trash out, so to speak, of any negative thoughts that aren't serving you. There's many people that help with that, but get rid of those negative thoughts, kick them out the door, put them out with the trash. Hey, you know what? It may even help. Write it down and literally put it in the trash or burn it. Any negative ideas you're thinking. So there's an idea for you. Leo, this is the month to take the time to sit down, really be honest with yourself, write down all that you want, the goals you want to accomplish, and any changes you want to make. Have you been feeling kind of like you need a change at work? Or, are you still all in and just trying to figure out what your true career goals are? If you have been contemplating asking for a raise, this could be a good time to do so, but be sure the company is in a place to even be open to it before having the conversation. So if the company's like struggling financially and very tight, don't ask for a raise. Don't be that person. But keep showing up, because eventually they may be. But it's very critical for you to take the time for you and your health. So me time is going to be important, because you need to focus on your health. And this includes more than just that physical health, but it also, it includes your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual health as well. So, the latter tend to be the ones that kind of get left out too easily, and the ones we don't want to deal with, but really focus on all four: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Virgo, have you kind of been saying these last few months that you need to start meditating or focusing more on your spiritual practices? If you have, guess what this month the energy is going to be good for? So it's really going to be begging you to sit down, meditate, focus more on your spiritual practice. If you already have a solid practice, bravo. But this can be a great time to add in a new component or check in and see if anything isn't flowing the way you want. Excuse me. It can be a period of kind of luck for you, and you may find yourself more inspired. Harness this energy and don't let it pass you by. You're going to need to stay alert, because you can find yourself in disputes or confrontations with authority figures. So don't be poking the bears on anybody. But if you have a desire really, to go deeper in your field or knowledge, go deeper in your field of knowledge, this can be a really great month to just do that, which can help with your career and business in the future. But Be sure when you make a commitment that you don't let it fall through the cracks. So if you commit, get it done. Libra, this is the month to grab the research bull by the horns and dive into the subject that has piqued your interest. Spend the time reading, listening, taking classes that will help you really understand the topic at levels you may have only dreamed of. So keep a piece of paper and pen nearby so that you can capture the ideas that float through your head. You never know which will be kind of the one, like which one's gonna really set things off. If you have been focusing on others, this includes pets' well-being. This is the month to take the time and put yourself first. So we all love our pets, but sometimes you've got to make sure you're staying in health mode so that you can still take care of them. So if you let your health go, you won't be able to help anyone else. This does include ensuring that you're not overworking. You're getting healthy food, you're getting fresh air. It can be a great month to get a massage or acupuncture. And if you've never had them before, then this is the perfect time to try it out. I highly recommend both. I use both. I love both. If you find a good acupuncturist, they are worth their weight in gold. Scorpio, you can be prone more to conflicts, disputes, and heated arguments this month. So be sure that you take the time to breathe deeply. Go into all the interactions from a calm state of mind. Don't go in pissed off. That's not a good way to start. Tickle in my throat. Sorry, guys. Weigh your words before speaking and evaluate if it is even worth speaking up and picking that fight, or if it would just be more beneficial to just let it go. So if there are any legal documents that you are set to sign or will be signing, take the time to read the fine print. Get a second opinion to ensure you don't miss any important nuances, because you might miss them and then you will regret it later. Make that call, really check in with your financial advisor. If you've been procrastinating on doing that, it's a really great month to get a kind of weather report, so to speak, on your portfolio. Don't be the ostrich that sticks its head in the sand. You'll come to regret it later. Let's just say that. So if you get the opportunity to kind of receive fresh perspectives at work, take it, see where it leads you. Sagittarius, this is a month to ensure that you are providing a high level of customer care. This includes the internal customers of business that many forget are the customer. Ensure commitments are being fulfilled so that everyone gets high marks. You really have a high potential to get into office conflicts this month. So just know that's a possibility. Really think through if it's worth the fight or if you should let it go and take the high road. Be sure to set a budget for the month and stick to it. This can include putting your credit cards in the freezer, but you know what? Do what you must to avoid burying yourself in debt this month. Don't do it. You'll thank me later. Sagittarius, this is also a great time to take opportunities to learn new skills or information that could help you move up in your career. And this is the time, so don't waste it, or your future could be different. So all the decisions you make affect different points in your life. It affects the paths your life take. So just know that and recognize how much control you have over your life and the actions you take and how you show up, and the thoughts you think. Not necessarily, you can't control other people and their actions, which can change paths. So just know that. Capricorn, your communication skills can really help you this month, and they'll be extremely strong. Be sure to use them for good. Be sure you don't let yourself get lazy. As the more you kind of put yourself out there and the more effort you put into these things that support you, the more you're setting yourself up for future wins. So be sure that you are double and triple checking all communication that's leaving your phone, your computer, or desk, especially if it is written. There can really be a greater potential for misunderstandings in terms of the tone being taken in an email, what you actually expect as an outcome. So just really watch that. Be sure that, you really enjoy the present, enjoy everything that you've accomplished so far in life. It's sometimes so easy to get so focused on the future that we forget to enjoy what we have in the present. And that's what you as Capricorns need to remember this month. Enjoy the present, enjoy what you have. Make a list of what you've accomplished. Just know, enjoy, appreciate, stay in the present. Aquarius, I'm going to have you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now keep ensuring that you're doing this all month, Aquarius, because you could find that tensions at home are higher and more stressful, kind of putting a strain on relationships with both your spouse and your family. This is not going to be a time to make rash decisions, but really try to objectively work through issues. It can be a good time to think about your future ambition and your plans, especially as it relates to work. So again, reassess, reset, reevaluate, reexamine, all those words. You're primed for it with all those retrograde planets. It could even be beneficial to have conversations with your boss to make sure that you guys are on the same page, but you do need to know you could be more accident prone this month. So be sure you aren't texting and driving, no texting and driving, no texting and walking. Be in the present, be focused, watch what you're doing. If any electrical problems surface, don't delay in getting them checked out this month. You won't thank yourself later. Let's put it that way. If you get them checked out, you'll be much happier you did. Pisces, the important thing for you to keep in mind this month is to not isolate yourself in your home. So get out, talk with others, hang out with friends, have work meetings in person. Communication will be important for you. Make sure that you're using kind words and not getting aggressive with your communication style, as that will be easy to slip into during this period. So really watch your tone. But it's going to be really important as well to ensure that you're getting healthy meals and making time to sit down and eat, because if you don't, you could end up with indigestion or just not settling out well. So be sure you're getting your exercise in daily, whether it be a simple walk, a hike, bike ride, good yoga session, weightlifting. The possibilities are endless. Pick something. There's so many out there. Find something you love. You are going to find yourself, optimistic and cheerful, and are also in a great period to promote yourself. So be sure that you're not overtaking, you're in a good period to promote yourself, but don't overtake the limelight, but also not staying in the shadows. So you've got this contradiction. You're going to be walking a fine line. I know you can do it. I've got faith in you. Make sure you don't get lazy by letting optimism take over, and make a to-do list to keep track of all your responsibilities, because you don't want to let them slip through the cracks. As always, these are broad, high-level descriptions, and your personal experiences may be different. If you really want to know your personal impacts of transits, especially Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, the big ones, even Mars potentially, I will put the link below this video to book a reading. And if you don't want to click the link below, it's elizabethymiller.com/contact. Great way to really get to know yourself, getting a consultation with me, understanding deeper your chart, understanding potential blind spots, understanding the strengths you bring to the table, what you came into this life with as natural gifts, what you're supposed to be working on in this life so you don't repeat it in the next life, all sorts of things. But book below. And if you haven't checked out some of Who's in the News, go check those out too. There was some interesting ones in August between Anne Heche and I redid Nancy Pelosi. So check those out. They're fascinating as always. If you haven't checked out some of the others, check those out. If you don't subscribe to my newsletter, link below. It's free, comes out once a month. I don't spam you. I don't sell emails. I hate all of that myself, so I don't do it. The only time I will send more than one email in a month is if it's a special month and one of the big planets is moving. For example, January, there will be 2 emails, because there will be the email for the newsletter, and then there will be an email about Saturn moving into Aquarius. So those are the times I send multiple emails. We all get so many emails, we're all overwhelmed. So I don't try to do that. I try to keep it 1 email a month. Comes out usually the last day of the month before or the first of the month. Kind of depends on how that month goes, how the end of the month goes for me. It's a busy time in my world. So just keep that in mind. I hope you enjoy September, and I will see all of you in October. But until then, stay safe, enjoy the weather. Depending on which part of the world you're in, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. Northern Hemisphere, I know you're getting ready to start cooling off a little bit. Southern Hemisphere, I know you're starting to warm back up a little bit. So enjoy wherever you are, stay in the present, and I will see you guys next month.